Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. We are continuing the 2026 LEGO City reviews with 4 sets I grouped together as functional vehicles. Well, 3.5 of them. I will explain that exception a bit later. Here they are in numerical order: the 60478 cement mixer, the 60490 snowplow, the 60495 recycling truck, and the 60498 tractor. I already talked about these briefly in my preview video, but now all of them are fully built. Eagle-eyed viewers might already notice something odd with the snowplow. Yes, this is the special summer edition without a roof. Missing parts are extremely rare in LEGO sets. Believe me, I've opened well over 1,000, but part swaps do happen from time to time. In this case, the set included 2 of these plates instead of 1, and no roof at all. Slightly unfortunate, but let's move on. Let's start with the cement mixer. The color scheme and branding match the other city construction vehicles really well, and it looks great. The big novelty here is the new drum element, made from 2 identical halves. Some of you mentioned after the preview that this part already existed in older City or Technic sets, but this is not that piece. It looks similar, but the dimensions are different, scaled specifically for this truck. The wheels are also new, something I honestly wouldn't have noticed without help from New Elementary. We also get the now familiar 2x6 crew plate with the doorstop element seen on the airport fire truck, but here it is actually used with the smaller door pieces. The printed 1x1 wheel nut tiles return after last year's tow truck and will appear in more city sets as well. Another interesting detail is this narrow windscreen element, recolored in dark bluish grey, repurposed as the chute at the rear. The cab opens up to reveal a nicely brick-built engine, and there's a clever angled support structure for the drum using multiple bevel gears. Turn the knob in the right direction and cement pieces start appearing, and you get plenty of them in the box. The rear section can also fold down to improve access to the opening. One detail I already liked on the fire truck returns here too. The red and white striping is either printed or brick built, which is always nice to see. We also get 3 minifigures and a few accessories, including a printed blueprint tile of the train station. Next up is the snowplow. Roof issues aside, this one looks great. The main color is green, just like the recycling truck, which seems to be the new city maintenance color scheme. It also features printed tiles on the sides. The cab has the new piece for 2 minifigures, opening doors, and it tilts forward to reveal a smaller engine. The plow itself uses recolored slope elements you might recognize from the F1 cars, and I really like how the curvature of the back mirrors the front shape. The plow is double hinged, which explains why it looks slightly detached from the vehicle in side view. That extra distance is needed to combine the towable joints for rotation with the hinge used to raise and lower the plow. We have accessories on the sides, storage compartments, presumably for salt, and at the rear there's an opening top section with doors folding nicely on these curved elements. But the real party trick is at the back. The rear wheels friction drive 2 smaller wheels connected to a drum element. When you push the truck, 1x1 plates slide through the opening and get spread behind the vehicle like salt. They can also represent snow and be pushed around with the plow. It's a genuinely clever and very playable feature. One thing to note is that you do need to apply a bit of downward pressure when pushing the truck, otherwise the resistance of the mechanism can prevent the wheels from rolling smoothly. There's one minifigure included here and it comes with new leg prints. Now let's look at the recycling truck, which shares the same green color scheme. It has large printed side panels and similar brick-built red and white striping. Despite the look, this is a new windscreen element, this time in green. The crew plate and new wheels return here too. The cabin is fixed this time, but we will still have some access to the power unit. At the front, the forklift arms are operated using bionicle teeth elements mounted on friction pins, so they hold position while remaining easy to move. We get 2 dumpsters with side slots, and there's a very clever building solution for the forks that slide directly into those slots. The dumpster lids are mounted on frictionless pins, which makes opening them smooth and easy. Each dumpster also comes with enough garbage for proper play. The entire rear compartment is hinged, although due to the weight, it realistically only stays in one stable position. Here you can see the power unit or battery I mentioned. Inside, the structure is excellent. There are 2 separate compartments and a movable internal wall operated by a yellow lever. The motion is very smooth, and the internal surfaces are nicely curved and angled to guide the waste into the correct section. Once the dumpsters are emptied, the waste can be unloaded separately using the 2 rear doors, one for each compartment. Everything works extremely well and makes for a genuinely enjoyable play feature. The two minifigures here have new torso prints and reuse the same leg prints we saw with the Snowplow. And finally the tractor. This is the odd one out as it doesn't include any functional play features out of the box. That said, it clearly encourages you to build your own attachments, which I actually like. The big novelty here is the new pair of small-scale tractor tires at the front. These are going to be very useful parts. Teal looks great on the vehicle and we get a printed grille tile with a bull motif, which might become the symbol for city farming vehicles. The grille is actually a Mack chest plate, but it fits perfectly here and gives the front some great shaping. The hood is hinged, just like the front section, allowing access to the engine. The front fenders use round quarter panels mounted sideways, and they work surprisingly well. At the rear, the clever solutions continue: a flipped windscreen element, familiar from Speed Champions in printed form, a removable cabin section for driver access, and nicely recolored wheel arches that first appeared with the Shelby Cobra. Even the rearview mirrors use a very innovative part combination. We also get hinged toggle socket elements at both the front and rear, so building custom accessories is clearly encouraged. Overall, it's a great looking vehicle and I would love to see more farming equipment in LEGO City. So these were 4 very solid vehicles from the January 2026 City lineup. Prices are on screen in euros and US dollars. Considering the number of features, clever parts and printed elements, these are already fairly priced, but as always I recommend checking local retailers. City is one of the most widely available themes, so finding these below RRP shouldn't be too difficult. One final thought: these are 6+ and 7+ sets, yet they include a lot of smart building techniques and a very clean modern look. That's a really nice direction for City. The attention to detail is excellent too. Everything is color matched and there isn't a single off-colored axle sticking out like we often see in Technic. It's a different design philosophy and it relies entirely on printed elements in these smaller sets. There aren't many decorations, these aren't F1 cars after all, but it's impressive how coherent the design language is when a team has a clear goal and consistent execution. So folks, let me know what you think, which one is your favorite vehicle or your favorite feature, let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.